union. So, Matt, to you first. This is what folks are saying out there today, that this is a great fundraiser platform for Democrats, and it will help the Democrats in turnout during midterms, which are usually not the biggest turnout of elections. What do you think about that? What is the Republican answer to that?
Boy, Jenna, I just don't agree with that. This reminds everybody across the country why Obama has been a failure as president, why his numbers are so low. It's because he fails to get a consensus on the important issues. It reminds people that he passed Obamacare only with Democratic votes, couldn't get a single, not even a moderate Republican vote in the Senate. And why couldn't he get any Republican votes? He refused to find some kind of political consensus. There's a political consensus in this country on contraception. Nobody's out there saying it should be illegal. Matter of fact, the Supreme Court didn't make one form of contraception, not one form, illegal. It's just a question of, do we still have First Amendment rights and religious rights in this country? And Americans believe in the First Amendment. And that's what this is about, and that's why it's good politics for Republicans.
All right, let's get Simon's thoughts on this. Simon, Matt says this is a losing issue for Democrats because this is the president's signature legislation. It was knocked down slightly here, bits and pieces of it, by the Supreme Court. Does that make it a losing issue for Democrats?
No, look, I think that what Matt said is not correct. I think the way this is going to be seen by many people, including many women, is there's now a chance that tens of millions of women in the United States will have employers being able to dictate to them what kind of health care that they get. I don't think that's a situation that any of us should feel comfortable with. Certainly I don't, right, as an employer. I think employers should have far less involvement in the health care of their employees than what we're contemplating here. And I think the point is, this is not about abortion. This is about contraception. This is a service that's available to 99% of all the women in the United States. And we're talking about taking away contraceptive services, not abortion services. And I think this is wrong. No, this is not seen. This is seen in the medical community as contraception, is what was.
And so I think some contraception, not all contraception. So I just want to be clear on that. But Matt, to Simon's point, Simon's putting out there what we've heard from Democrats all along about how the GOP is against rights for women. What is the answer against that from the GOP?
The answer to this is to look at the facts, Jenna. And the fact is there were only 4 types of contraception that the owners of Hobby Lobby had a problem with. And it's the forms of contraception that induce an early abortion. This country is becoming more and more pro-life. It's an issue, quite frankly, that the Democrats are on the wrong side of history on. They can try to spin this as a contraception issue. It's not. It's about life in its early stages in the womb. Republicans are going to stand up for that life, and I think that the American people believe that it's okay in this country to have religious beliefs that lead you to want to protect life. That is actually good politics as well.
Okay, let me ask you both a final question, because obviously we see you both in your corners. Speaking of Rocky the movie, right? We're seeing you both go corners. Matt, you're talking about religious freedom. Simon, you're talking about the rights of women. What happens if this is about neither? That really this ruling is about the first chink in the armor for Obamacare. And Simon, there's 80 more plus pending cases that are coming against this legislation that could potentially be damaging for it. Do you think this is potentially the beginning of the end of the new health care law?
No, because I think everyone knows this law is going to evolve and change over time as we figure out things that need to be fixed and improvements that need to be made, and there may be other legal decisions. But on balance, the ACA is working really well. Tens of millions of people have health insurance now. Health care costs are going down in the United States. So I think that, Democrats expect that this law will evolve and change over time. So no big surprise here.
And real quick, Matt, does the GOP want to give up that power to the legislative branch to sort of figure out where health care goes from here, or do you think they should take a more active role?
I think they have to take an active role. Obamacare is not working. Look at the polls. The American people have never liked it. They don't like it now. The fact is there's going to have to be a lot of changes to Obamacare, and this puts the issue front and center in the midterm elections, and it's the conversation we should have as a country.
Well, let me just ask you this final question. Both of you do root for Team USA. I know you're on the opposite side of this issue, right? We're going to be talking about the World Cup, right? Both of you, Simon, Matt, you guys go Team USA.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just check.